and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I'm Agam Akil. Well, on a very rainy day, we've seen the markets advance by as much as 0.5%. The Nifty up by 47 odd points. And today, well, the picture is looking slightly better as compared to what we saw yesterday. Perhaps about a short covering. But we have Dr. Reddy's, Indian Oil Corp and Bharti Airtel leading the gains along with State Bank of India and Tata Steel among the heavier weight companies. But Maruti Suzuki on the lower end, looking at a 3.6% cut. Tata Motors, Britannia, Asian Paints, Sun Pharma all declining in trade. It's a 1:1 scenario when it comes to the advance decline ratio on the NSE 500 with the likes of IFB Industries, Shilpa Medicare, Gujarat Alkali, Dr. Lalpath Labs and Praj Industries advancing in trade. And on the losing end, we have weakness in Escorts, Magma FinCorp, well, the usual suspects such as Reliance Communication, Minda Corp and Gen Irrigation also under pressure, and IDBI Bank giving away all its gains that he had made yesterday. So on that note, of course, we can bring in our markets editor Neeraj Shah for a little more today. Neeraj, I'm not very certain about volumes. They weren't very high, but of course we're looking at a recovery, but you wouldn't want to read too much into it, would you?
No, cash market volumes at 30,000 crores, penultimately to expiry, so this one went well. I think in the morning you guys were talking about how the 10,800 mark was showing the maximum, and maybe on a weekly expiry basis this could have done well. I don't think Hong Kong had too much to do with it because I think the Bank Nifty was up and about before the Hong Kong news came out as well. So I would presume internals. Just that the set of names which did well or didn't do well were very diverse and very, you don't usually see the steel names along with the State Bank of India and IOC, BPCL and a couple of pharma names do well, like Dr. Reddy's, for example. So very diverse set of names at the broader on the spectrum as well. Let's see, a day at a time, most people that we spoke to today seem to believe that will get sold into. Let's not make too much of it. Just a day wherein, after a very severe crunch, a bit of a bounce. Let's wait and watch.
Okay, let's wait and watch, Neeraj. Thanks for that perspective there. So a little bit of a bounce coming through, but let's talk about the auto sector once again, which is in focus. We have Yatin Mota to take us through that. Yatin.
Well, Agam, as we know that, in the month of August, the sales have not been that great. In fact, if you look at Maruti, 33% decline for the August volumes. Similar is the case with Tata Motors, wherein the commercial vehicle as well as the total passenger vehicle sales together were down nearly 50%. So the pain point really is the domestic demand. The wholesales are lower because of the dealer inventory correction that most of the OEMs are taking place, or initiating at this point in time. Now, talking specifically about Maruti, which is one of the top losers in the Nifty today, 3.5% where it shut shop. Lower. Tata Motors also was one of the top losers along with Mahindra and Mahindra. This was largely to do with the fact that Maruti Suzuki today announced that their Haryana plants in Gurgaon as well as in Manesar would remain shut for 2 working days in the month of September. And after Maruti announced that production cut, clearly we had some adverse reaction coming on the stock. So that was specifically to Maruti. Why the stock is down about 3.5–4%.
Okay, well, Yatin, thanks for those updates. So, well, there is more pressure there, but on that note, let me also get in Yash Upadhyay to talk to us about 2 other stocks that he spotted in today's day of trade. Yash?
I'll talk about 2 gainers, first of all, Agam. So the first one is basically Vascon Engineers, not a very big name, not a very volumes-heavy counter, but there was news on the back of which we saw this big spike in the counter, ended almost 17% higher. The news is basically that the company has received an order from a Maharashtra state undertaking worth close to 465 crore rupees, and that takes its overall, order book for the year to more than 1,400 crore rupees, which is a big positive for the counter. And the other big name to watch out for is Dr. Lalpath Labs. Now, the stock managed to end almost 6.5% higher, and it has hit a fresh 52-week high in today's trading session as well. But it's not just Dr. Lalpath Labs; it's also the other, diagnostic names which are doing fairly well, be it Metropolis or this one. Also, on a year-to-date basis, the stock is up almost 38%, and in the last 1 month, when the Nifty has been bogged down because of several concerns, the stock is up almost 16%. So significant strength coming in some of these diagnostic names. Dr. Lalpath, one to watch out for.
Right, Yash, thanks for getting us those 2 other stocks which remain in focus. Well, perhaps a day of respite today, considering the kind of bounce that we've seen. A small bounce, well, but it's a bounce all the same in the Indian markets, and we continue to keep track of the movements here. But on that note, it's a wrap on the markets. But lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Week.